The Ferrari 360 was launched in 1999. Now at the time I was just an easily influenced 7-year-old schoolboy, but I remember being gobsmacked by it. I remember watching the likes of Tiffany Dell and Jeremy Clarkson sliding them round tracks. Now I never in a million years thought I was going to say these words, but ladies and gents, welcome to my Ferrari 360. This is genuinely quite an emotional video for me because what you're looking at here is the one, my unicorn. I mean, yes, I absolutely respect more contemporary, more capable supercars, but this is the one that was on my bedroom wall. This is the one that I daydreamed about in school, and now it's mine. My name's Grant and this is my Ferrari 360 Modena. Oh, I could get used to saying that. Now for the regular channel viewers, maybe this isn't such a big surprise because it's no secret, this has always been my bucket list car. Never thought we'd actually get here, but here we are in the flesh. If you look at the logo for this channel, it's always had the outline of a Ferrari 360 in it. You've probably never noticed, but you will now. Now this for me, I never grew up around these cars. I didn't have the rich uncle with the Ferraris and Lamborghinis. And this journey, certainly financially, has never been bolstered by anyone. And please don't take that wrong, I don't say that to gloat. There is some pride in achieving things like this yourself, of course there is. I say that because the demographic, the people who are watching these videos, I can see the stats, is mainly young men, and perhaps some of you are watching with a slightly negative mindset like I used to have. I would look at stuff like this and I'd adore it, but I'd always think, it's never going to be mine. I'm never going to amount to that. I'm never going to achieve this. Now it's a tired cliche, I get it, but if I can do it, so can you. Take from that what you will. Specifically, it was this car, the Ferrari 360, that made me work a little bit harder, push a little bit further, so that maybe, just maybe, one day I could possibly think about getting one, or renting one was probably more realistic in my head at the time. So from that point of view, I kind of owe this car a lot for the success I've had in life so far. The car is the embodiment of a 2000s supercar. Nothing really makes sense. The steering's really heavy, the pedals are super close together, the gearbox is heavy, but get it flowing on the right road and it all comes together. It all makes perfect sense. And it's a car that you need to drive. It needs your concentration. Fluff a gear change and the car's gonna let you know about it. It's like you're the composer of the mechanical orchestra, so to speak. It needs to be driven and it needs your attention. It's an uncompromising car. They wear out components quickly, they use fuel like it's going out of fashion, which is somewhat truthful actually. And of course, they've got the potential to throw you a real big bill, but in return, it offers what is, to me, an unparalleled experience. Leaving aside the brand, the heritage, the nostalgia, objectively, it is a sublime driving experience, even some 25 years on from its introduction. But we can get into that a bit more in another video if you like. On note of big bills, I'm not ashamed to say, this is actually the second Ferrari 360 that I've owned. I actually owned one briefly before, and there's a bit of story behind that. Basically, back in 2019, 5 years or so ago, after owning multiple R8s and Nissan GTRs, I was lulled into a false sense of security and thinking, how much more could one of these cost to maintain and fix and run? Turns out quite a lot more, as I found out the hard way. So I bought this car and basically I couldn't afford to maintain it to the level that it deserved. So I made the difficult decision back then, before the YouTube channel, well, just around the time that it was starting, to sell up, but destined to return when it was more practical and feasible for me to do so. So yes, do meet your heroes, but just make sure you've got the money in your back pocket to pay for their presents. So it's taken me about 4 months to find the right car. The issue you've got on these now is, well, they're getting on for 25 years old, so any poor maintenance that a car's had in its lifetime, you've got that compounding effect where it's building up, and get a bad one of these and you're going to know about it right in the wallet. I wanted one that was red, I wanted a manual. My previous one that I owned briefly was F1. This time it had to be a manual. And unfortunately, that is the criteria that most people want. So they're getting hard to come by, and that's only doing one thing to the prices. They're going up and up and up. And that was part of my reasoning for jumping in and getting one of these now, because as time goes on, if these do go the way that I think they're going to, going up and up and in value, then it's going to get less and less obtainable for me. So here we are, in with both feet as it were. Now, helping me buy this car was Vehicle Score. This is a service where you can put the plate of any car in, find out the good and bad points about it for completely free. But if, like me, you're serious about buying a car, especially something kind of special like this, you're going to want to buy one of their paid HPI reports. I'll drop a 15% discount voucher and link in the description below, so use that on your next purchase. So the car was supplied through Shinsen Automotive, and I wanted to mention these guys because the whole experience was what ticking off a life goal like this should be. Fantastic. We're so quick to talk about companies when they supply bad service, but when companies give us good service like this, a rarity where they spend hours talking to you about the car, drinks are flowing, the unveil sheet is over it, we don't talk about that so much. So big shout out to those guys. If you're in the market for something like this, check them out. And the car was actually previously owned by another guy who does a bit of YouTubing as well. If you want to view the past of the car, I'll add a link to his channel below. Some pretty good videos actually. You know what? This felt like an important video to make. For years now, you've watched me buy cars, sell cars, build cars, destroy cars even, right here on YouTube. It's become almost customary to share it with you, what I'm getting up to car-wise. I've had conversations with many of you in the comments. I feel like I know some of you might feel that you know me. I've met so many great people through doing things just like this. And honestly, it's so satisfying, it feels so wholesome to share such a massive milestone with you. Thank you so much for watching, and please do continue to watch. There's so many plans on the cards for this Ferrari, but for now, thank you again. I'll see you for the next one.